Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome back to the 53206 cast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Meg.
And this is a podcast. People, Meg, we have a guest.
We have a wonderful guest that we usually have every time around this time of year. So we are so excited to welcome Jamie DeJesus back again.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And listen, I think we're going to start this one off with a joke, right?
Oh, I love it.
Listen. What do you call a turkey after Thanksgiving?
I don't know. What?
Lucky.
Ooh. I was going to say leftovers, but lucky is better.
I'm just hearing all of these phenomenal jokes that I've found over the last month just to help keep spirits high and stay in the holiday spirits.
That's good. That's good.
So, wow, it's great to be back. Thank you for having me back once again for
excited.
This is like a traditional thing since we stopped both
third or
sides
fourth?
of the fence.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah. So we're excited to hear what is going on in your world.
So I am still at Innovative Educational Solutions
Great.
Institute,
Nice.
located at 4201 North 27th Street. I'm pretty sure you guys remember that jingle from years past.
Yes. And what does Innovative Educational Solutions do?
We help train the educationally disadvantaged people from the community.
Mm-hmm.
We help train people from the community who may have lost their jobs. We know Master Lock went out of business, unfortunately, in the last year, which is a staple of staple in our community. Yeah. So we had a lot of students coming from there to train them on computer numeric control, which is CNC machining. We do have a state-approved pre-apprenticeship for that. And we also have Manufacturing Skills Standard Council certified production technician courses, which entails safety, quality practices, production process, and maintenance awareness. And then we also have certified logistics technician for people who don't want to work with the machines or on the machines. They can also work in the shipping and receiving aspect of manufacturing.
How long have you worked there for? It's been
I
a
have
while.
been there. June will be 8 years.
Wow.
This is the longest I've had a job. This is the longest I've been free since I've been, my whole adulthood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've had my first presidential election recently. I was first time ever able to vote for president.
Oh, that's cool.
So just to be able to have that opportunity and express my freedoms as a citizen of the United States was a very freeing feeling.
Yeah. Well, that's neat.
So we got that going on.
And so are you still at Marquette? And
Yes.
you were at Marquette and you were part of the special program. What was it again?
Educational Preparedness Program.
Okay.
Which I finished my 12 credits as a pilot student.
Nice.
I finished with a 3.8 GPA.
Whoa.
Right. They invited me to become a degree-seeking student.
Okay.
So I'm in my second part of the 24 program pilot.
Okay.
While we figure out and navigate the plans for me being a degree-seeking student.
Okay.
Which is going to look a little different now, due to the fact of how prestigious Marquette is. They don't accept any credits from anywhere.
Okay.
So you have to have certain credits that are transferable. So after evaluating that and seeing that if I continue to take one class a semester, for me to be able to get my bachelor's degree, I'll probably be about the next 15 years.
Okay.
So,
That's a while. Yeah.
We had to outweigh and,
Sure.
see what things can occur. And they have a part of the MPAC program, which, I'm so horrible with acronyms, but it's phase 2 of the Educational Preparedness Program for degree-seeking students. And they have partnerships with other colleges and universities in the city. The UWM has a program, I believe it's called the SEED program, which I was just notified about this last week before Thanksgiving. And they accept more credits from a variety of different technical colleges and people coming from my background who may have took correspondence courses in prison or got lived experience by being in prison. They give you credit for all of that stuff.
That's great. That is great. Okay.
So when I make this transfer and check out what it is that we're doing there, then I'll probably have to take my last 32 credits residential. So I can knock that out in 3 semesters.
Sure.
Oh,
They're
that's
more
exciting.
friendly to students who work full time and have more night classes.
Yeah, you're a busy guy.
And on my, busy is not the word. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, dude, how are you still functioning? And I'm thinking to myself, like, I used to think that, and I was like, damn, I'm not that busy, right? But then she was like, no, every time I call you, you're busy, so you're pretty damn busy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I loved even
But-
scheduling the podcast. You're like, I'm available this time, and then I gave you 3 options. You're like, actually, I'm not available any of those times. I was like, you just got things going on, which is great.
Well, it's beautiful. I like to answer yes first as soon as the schedule appointments, but then I check and I double book and I'm like, oh, I should have said no.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to say no.
Yeah, that's okay.
Or at least let me check. But I'd be so anxious to come down here and visit with you all. I haven't seen you guys in a while either,
Yeah, it's been too long.
I didn't do Juneteenth this year because things just got a little too hectic. So
Yeah.
I usually see you guys down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but there was somebody over at Rose Park that had they had a whole, it was like a foam machine, and there was almost like half a block of just kids playing in like bubbles and foam.
Oh wow!
It was like the coolest thing. My kids loved it.
Right.
It was just a sight to be seen. They had and they were just, they will bring it to parties, and me and the kids were like, this is just so fun. One of my neighbors, I saw her running through it. Like, it was just it was a sight to be seen.
I bet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go next year. I'm gonna have to make some time
Yeah,
next year to go back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I should be able to catch my bachelor's in nonprofit organizational skills, and there's something else that goes with the title of that for justice involved individuals.
Okay.
But I'll be getting a lot of credits transferred.
Nice.
So I'll be back on my way to Dr. DeJesus.
Nice.
Momentarily here in the next, hopefully within the next 10 years, I can knock that out. We'll see how that goes.
That's awesome. That's really exciting.
It is. Just to be able to have all of these opportunities present itself at different times, I know we were talking about the IESI South for the last couple of years, right? And then it got put on hold.
Yeah.
And then I get a call about 3 weeks ago. Hey, we're back on.
Oh.
Get ready. We got to go do a floor inspection and get the floor plan to be able to create another replication of what it is that we're doing here at 4201 North 27th Street on the second floor of the building that's there.
Yeah.
And replicate that down in South Milwaukee.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, we got a lot of just so many things going on. We got partnerships with another agency that I work with called Cutting Edge, and Andrea Bester.
Okay.
She is somebody who has a staffing agency and a welding and phlebotomy training center in her placement agency.
Great.
Yeah, so they just moved out to Brown Deer. I don't recall the exact address, but just Google, Cutting Edge or something, you know what I'm saying, and check it out.
Yeah, yeah.
And then company partnerships. We are solidifying a partnership with Quad Graphics.
Nice.
Where we did some pre-apprenticeship training for them.
Yeah.
And we're going to have our first pre-apprenticeship graduate next week, and he's already been approved to enter into mechanical engineering apprenticeship for Quad Graphics.
Oh, cool. So basically your students, they train at your facility, and then they will move out they'll kind of work their way to getting a job at Quad Graphics.
Right.
That's awesome.
The Quad Graphics situation is beautiful because Brandon Ramey at Quad MKE, which is also located at 4201 North 27th Street, just next door to us upstairs on the second floor. They have a program called the Impact Program. And what they do is they work in conjunction with the Running Rebels and a couple other agencies out here to help facilitate the learning of soft skills and disciplines of working and what it takes for you to get back on your feet and start on your career path.
Yeah.
And they start them out at 10 hours a week, working part-time. So we devised a pilot program that would help better equip his impact students to be better equipped to get into a position where they can move around and not just be locked into one position once they start with Quad. So they come through and they get our certified production technician training, and Quad pays them an extra 8 hours a week to come for education.
Oh, that's great.
So it's pretty good for them, pretty good for Quad. It's good all the way around the board, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Whenever you're receiving some type of vocational training or some type of skills training, at an accelerated rate that'll give you the basics, and then you can get in there and develop yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's a winner all the way across the board.
Yeah, that is great.
Jamie, I know it might have been 2 times ago that you were here. We were talking about the reentry simulation.
Oh yeah.
And that just what you were speaking about these different programs that help people have these very specific job skills. Can you just give a broad overview of that reentry simulation, and then some of the challenges that a justice-involved individual would face finding employment, finding work that they're interested in? Those
Absolutely.
Kind of
so the reentry event, which is hosted twice a year through Employ Milwaukee, but the funding agency or the hosting agency, I believe, is called Just Dane.
Yeah.
Out of Madison, Wisconsin. And that's by far one of my favorite reentry events that happen in the city.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you liked it, because I hated it.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. You were on the other side of the coin, right?
Not fun.
So what the reentry event is they give people and volunteers the opportunity, or volunteers such as myself who have never been on the side of the law, to play a community role. Like my favorite position is a parole officer or the police officer.
Mm-hmm.
So generally the last few times I've been a parole officer, and then they have DWD simulation there. They have healthcare, childcare, stuff like that. And then for the normal visitors who have never been incarcerated in life, or just want to experience what being incarcerated might be like on the returning home part, would receive a full profile. And they would expect to be followed. They would have to be expected to follow that script through all of the places, like going to the DMV, getting your license, signing up for your food share, getting health insurance, attending your AODA programs, your adult registrant, because you have a certain type of case, so you have to be monitored a little more closely. And they run through all of these scenarios on a 15-minute time period. And then when the whistle blows, that week is over. So you get 4 weeks to run through it, which is about an hour. And these people just get really frustrated at the process, because we're closing our office. The office is closed, maybe a holiday, or just going out to lunch. Or you get one of the county workers sometimes that may be behind the phone on their desk. I mean, behind the desk on their phone and not paying attention to you. And you're on a time limit. You got to get some things done. And then they end up taking a trip back to jail, which is just down the hallway. But they get that experience. And why? Explain to me, what was so troubling for you? Alex?
And did you go back to jail?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I never heard this. Wow.
Well, just you can make parallels to just other things that you have to get done on a daily basis, but this was, you just felt so helpless to actually accomplish these tasks in the amount of time that you were given, and it it was defeating. I think would be the word to describe it.
Right. I think one of the most difficult portions of the reentry, or just coming home from prison normally, is if you don't have a support system, family or friends or other agencies to lean on, is you're navigating through this process alone and not knowing what's there to be able to help you. The only thing you have is a parole or probation officer, supervision officer, who's going to direct you to do the things that she feels that you need to take care of to fix your life. You know what I'm saying? But how can anybody from a situation that's not from like ours tell us what it is that we need to fix our life? You know, they think the job's the most important thing to be able to have to support yourself once you come home. But if you're going out and getting a job and you don't have the sociable, personal interaction skills to be able to keep the job once you get it, or let's just use that term right there, job, right? You're just putting you into a job instead of getting some skills to be able to create your career path for whatever age you are for the rest of the time that you got out here in society, right? Because, you know, we're not getting any younger, you know, so the people that are coming home, and I wanted to send a big shout out to My Way Out and The Way Out, Ruben and Eli, because they have a tech hub that helps people who have been incarcerated for a number of years come back and give them technical skills on a computer, laptops, whatever it is to help them create an email or type a resume, there's just so many beautiful things that are going on for the brothers and sisters coming home that we need. And I think I digressed a bit because I wanted to say I think one of the most difficult things is being forced to get that job right away before you're ready. And you end up back in a vicious cycle because, let's face it, the DOC wants their minimum payments, they want their restitution, their supervision fees, and they can't get none of that unless you're working.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit difficult.
And so I feel like for those listeners that don't know anything about this, like, so once you get out, you have to pay. Say that again. You have to pay what?
You have to pay supervision fees. So depending on what your income is, it ranges from anything. I think the lowest payment is $20 a month.
Okay.
That you have to pay to be on supervision fees. Then you have your other fees, what might be restitution or victim witness surcharge, whatever didn't get paid. Depending on how long you were incarcerated for, some of this stuff might not have been paid. So you have to continue to pay that stuff once you come home.
Wow. So there's just a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Besides tap dancing through life to make sure you don't do nothing wrong or bump into anybody the wrong way. Or make sure you don't piss off one of your exes or have somebody just, he's out. Let's put him back in. Let's make a phone call on him and, throw some false allegations to get you sitting there. And, very difficult situations out here. And unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't seem like it's getting any easier with the modern climate of human interaction or just the way people are. I don't know how your guys' experiences over the last year, but I was almost in another road rage incident at Aldi's. So
you do have to stand in line for a while there.
Yeah, but no, this was in the parking lot.
In the parking lot, jeez.
I'm trying to. So I'm the type of person. I have a bigger truck, so certain places where I'm parking, I want to back my truck in. So I got my blinker on, going to the right, and we're waiting for the gentleman to leave. Now, granted, the parking spot was close to the front, so I wait for the person to leave. I pull up to the left. My right blinker's still on. There's no place to park on the left for me to be driving that way. So as soon as I start to back up, the one car that was behind me immediately took off to get past me. But the second car, like, she wasn't even paying attention to where she was going and just tried to zoom in behind me and try to take my parking spot while I'm backing up.
Yeah.
And the whole while I'm just looking in the rear view. A young lady's in there with two of her children. And I'm every curse word in the book. I couldn't have been the worst human being for attempting to park my vehicle in her spot.
Oh my God.
After, and that led into the store and and I'm just looking at this one like, man, you are actually putting on this show for a parking spot in front of your children.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know. If I was a different person, that could have went totally different ways,
Yeah.
But I just urge everybody, man, just have patience with each other out there. I know we're all human beings. We're not going to make the right decision.
Yeah.
But, I mean, don't let something like that blow up into something that, ends up taking people from each other, from their families, and from society for an extended amount of time.
Yeah. Well, and it's such a waste of energy. Yeah. It's such a waste. I feel like you get mad about it, and then it's such a waste of energy that could be spent so many other good places.
And then, the thing about it is that it wasn't even worth arguing about, because if you would have saw my blinker, you see that I'm trying to park my truck, woman, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you dealing with those type of peoples, with those unaddressed traumas, I guess you want to call it, and I see a lot more how hurt people are hurting people more, and I noticed I'm able to step back and take a look at things that maybe at a slower pace to see different things.
That's good.
Like when I first came home, right? Because I was gone for, like I said, I've been home almost 9 years now. Longest I've been home since 1997. But when I first came home, I could see people on the streets and how they moving and like, look, they may be up to no good, or they're selling this or they're selling that. You know about the type of people that's around. And over these years, I've changed to be able to just to see more of, I want to say maybe humanity or
empathy.
Just empathy, just to see things. Well, it probably has a lot to do with these classes from Marquette as well. they really pop that box open, right? Unless you get to thinking about some things.
That's good.
And like I was already on my way, but I think I made a little bit of growth in certain areas that just helped me, allow me to see better or see things from different circumstances.
Yeah,
you know?
That's good.
Kind of broaden the horizons a little bit.
Yeah, I think like you said, like just like taking your time and like not hurrying through life and being able to see people from all the different angles, because we all have all the different things that we're not good at and we're just struggling with. So. Yeah.
And then, in this last class I've taken the ethics of philosophy. Or ethical behaviors of philosophy. And we're reading this book titled, oh my God, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Never Give Up on Anyone. Hold on.
Yeah, get it out. Yeah.
I got this. And there's a couple. She has such a good book reading curriculum. But this one is called Not Giving Up on People, a feminist case for prison abolition.
Who's it by?
Very good book by Barrett Emmerich and Audrey Yap.
Okay.
And they zoomed in on a Zoom call with us last week, so we actually got to meet the authors.
Cool.
But to be able to learn how to apologize. Who knows how to apologize, right?
Between this guy and me, no.
Are you guys even apologizing to each other, right? You know what I'm saying?
Probably not.
We're not.
No, I bet
he's clearly not apologizing right to me.
Well,
it happens, right? Because usually we're like, well, I'm sorry for, whatever, da 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 da. Yeah. But what is an I'm sorry, right? And it kind of reminds me of there's a scene in White Men Can't Jump, the first one with Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, where Woody and Rosie are laying in bed, and she's telling him, she says, "Baby, I'm thirsty." So he's half asleep. He gets up and wants to go grab some water. Gives her some water. Here you go. And she looks at him and she hits him. Pops him on the shoulder like, no, stupid. I don't want you to get me water when I'm thirsty. I want you to tell me something that I want you to empathize with me. I want you to sympathize. I want you to tell me that I too knows what it feels like to feel thirsty, which is some crazy toxic stuff, right? Because you don't just do that and then come with a conversation out the blue like that. Because, but I mean, if you think about it, like, and you want to apologize to somebody, but you're apologizing without feeling the apology or knowing what it is that you actually did wrong that you're apologizing for. So you just want to, I don't know, kind of just like being more mindful of how your actions may be affecting other people.
Yeah.
So I'm in some really, I guess, deep retrospect right now.
Yeah. That sounds
maybe
great.
Entering my philosophy. I might be a Jedi before this is all over with. You know what I'm saying?
So good.
Yeah, and then, man, just blessing after blessing. We have another company partnership with the Bradley Corporation as well.
That's great.
So we're in final discussions for setting up a training facility at IES Institute, which would train our students how to assemble parts for Bradley, so they know how to read the traveling work in progress.
Okay.
They'll know how to identify the part numbers and then go locate the bin with the parts and set up their little work area. And it's very helpful things for the community. So I think we're off and we're still running with what it is that we've been doing.
Yeah.
And man, if anybody out there listens to this podcast, knows anybody coming home or has people coming home or knows somebody that knows somebody coming home, there's tons of resources out here for y'all. And you can start with checking my website at iesinstitute.org. You can also check the community also got some stuff up there, Paradigm Shift, My Way Out, The Way Out. just Google for reentry services, man. And we all, once you meet one of us, you'll probably meet all of us within the next month or two because we all refer each other back to people and reverse referrals and whatever it is, man, just to get the people what it is that they need.
That's great. That is great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Alex, looks like maybe I should be asking you some questions.
Well, I was just thinking about, how you said, it seems like over the last year, people are more just at each other, maybe. But I was curious what you've seen change in the last year or last couple of years with like people coming through the program. What have you seen kind of take place over that time period?
We have had our most busiest year in this last year than we've had since I've worked there.
Busy in terms of number of people coming through?
The number of students coming through and our completion rates.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, it had a lot to do with the companies going out of business,
Sure.
Master Lock went out of business. Yeah. But I think the remnants of the COVID era or COVID period are dissipating a bit. I know it's still out there, but there's a lot of regulations and things that are being lifted, so people are getting to interact with people more often. And then on the benefit side, people are realizing like, oh damn, no more stimulus, no more COVID, no more money, no more, none of this coming. So they're realizing they have to get out and get some credentials and make a better way for themselves. So you see a lot of new ingenuity coming out of this. You see revived dedication. Like I said, we've just had most graduates that we've had. I have another pre-apprenticeship graduating on the 14th on Saturday. This dude, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Works full time. Got 5 children at home with him. Wow. 2 moved out. And he still found time to do his modules and get his stuff done within the last year.
That's impressive.
To do his pre-apprenticeship. And I'll come in and help him on the weekends, But you got to finish his CNC pre-apprenticeship. So I'm very proud of the young man.
That's really cool. And so what will he go on to do?
He'll go on to continue going to school. With he's working as a printer on one of the print machines, a print technician now, but he's moving to the journeyman part of it where he's doing the mechanical engineering part, maintenance.
Okay.
So now he's going to be on the truck or be in an office fabricating a part that maybe needed to be fixed for something, or be waiting on the CB, and then when they get the call, okay, well, we got to drive our truck over here to this part of the plant and analyze the problem and get to working on it.
Yeah. And so did his pay jump a lot from going through the program?
So not immediately, because he was at Quad for like 4 or 5 years before he took our training. So he make a decent, nice, substantial amount of money. However, when you're in apprenticeship, you will get a 4-year contract for your hours to meet a certain amount of hours. Machining, I believe, is 4,444 hours in 4 years.
Okay.
And you'll get an incremental raise from wherever you're at to entry-level journeyman, which is probably about between $45 and $51 an hour.
Good.
Is the lower end range of a journeyman's card. So wherever he's at, he would receive equal amount raise every year till he got up to that between $45 and $51 an hour.
Good.
But if he's already at like 35, then he'll wait for maybe like another year or two before he gets a sizable raise. And then he'll jump to maybe $6 every 6 months raise until he gets to where he got to be at.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's a breadwinner in his family right now.
Good,
so it'd be good for him and his family to learn that ethic and see what it takes, even for the kids to be able to see their father. Because last year, he just got his HSED.
Okay.
His high school diploma.
Oh,
so
okay.
He finished his high school diploma. He never graduated.
Yeah.
So he went back and finished that. And then he took some pre-apprenticeship training right after that. And the guy is 48 years old. So think of the example that he's setting for his children.
That's really cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this can be done no matter what age you get. No, you guys are going to get it now. But I mean, just saying, if you didn't, this is what you could do later.
Right.
But you'll be set up for much bigger and better things by that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we noticed that a lot at We Got This. Like if a kid has never worked, I mean, they're 13 years old, so they don't have jobs. They don't have an opportunity to go out and be a positive, productive member of the community and get paid for it. But it's like a light bulb switches in their head when they see like, oh, I can go cut grass for a couple hours and I can make $20. Like it's a big deal, and for those kids to see their dad go through that, that's incredible.
Yeah,
because it just makes the pathway open to them.
Yeah.
It's like somebody going through the forest and clearing out the trees, so then you can walk. Those kids can walk through that.
Right. Creating those pathways.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, there was another thing I wanted to say that just completely slipped my mind right now. I'm always good for a couple of those every time we get to recording as well.
Usually they come back.
But yeah, real quick, but they say what happens when you get older, you forget more. And, geez.
Have you always been that way in terms of, because it sounds like, when I talk to you, there's always a next thing coming up.
Oh yeah, I'm always planning, plotting. And
yeah, have you always been that way, or was there a time in your life where you weren't that way? And then
I think that's how I've always thought that way. Like I always put the cart before the horse.
Okay.
And I used to get yelled at a lot, right? But then certain time, that's the way I see the world, is that you got to be able to keep going. You got to have plan A, B, C, and D. Just in case A, B, and C don't work, right?
Yeah.
And now you got back at the scratch, starting from scratch, back at the drawing board, creating a new A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just had A, B, C, D, E, and F, you could experiment with D, E, and F. You know what I'm saying? While you're gauging the statistical analysis of or probabilities of this stuff working to start another plan and try a different route.
Yeah.
I think I've always been a little analytical and overthinker like that.
It's worked out for you. I mean,
well, yeah, so far
a lot of good things going on.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's just been a very. Oh my God! Hold on, wait a minute. I just went to my 30-year high school reunion.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
And you went to was it South Division?
South Division.
South Division.
Yep. So I just want to send a shout out to all the people who made it to the South Division 30-year high school reunion, and it was a blast.
Oh, that's good.
And I just gotta say this. I still fit my Leatherman's jacket, so I was good. I was good with it. I was able to wear it one last time for life.
That's good.
But I want to use this as a platform to reach out to any of them people who might have been at the reunion, and when I gave a little speech that I did about all of us playing our part to make the city of Milwaukee a better place. Now that we're grown and we grew up here and we still live here, if y'all hear me on here, you know who I am. It's the big dog, Jamie D. You know what I'm saying? Let's put it together and reach out, y'all. We got a lot of work here to do in the city, and there's a lot of people out here that's willing to help us work and put our plans into motion. So let's do it.
That's great. Yeah. That's good. I agree that there are so many good things going on in the city, and I just appreciate you doing so many wonderful things. That you do, and we just appreciate you coming on. And
I appreciate having this platform to be able to vent, because we've been rolling pretty hard since 2000, last 4 years, 2020, right?
I think
or 19.
And I think both sides of the fence started in 2019. I mean, because you talk about COVID, and I remember us looking at TikToks about the COVID.
Yeah, we did the COVID thing on the arm to see if
the penny stuck to my arm and didn't. But I feel like we've known each other for a while, so it's been neat to continue to watch you just grow and succeed in all you do.
I appreciate that, and I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at without people like y'all. You know what I'm saying? To help in the situations in the way that you guys do. I mean, who got a studio on 8th and Ring in the hood where we can come and do podcasts? You know what I'm saying?
It's true. Yeah.
So, I just want to thank y'all for this opportunity and the platform. Yeah. One last plug out to IESinstitute.org, located at 4201 North 27th Street. And there'll be some new marketing for my personal LLC, which is Innovative Solutions 2 Consulting. You'll have some platforms on there where you can view my artwork, purchase some artwork, and just hear other stories and trials and tribulations of of what a consulting firm does in a city like this.
That's great. We're
So,
excited for it. We're
I
excited
appreciate it.
Yeah.
to see it when it comes out. Yeah.
I'll be back next year, Lord
Yeah.
willing.
Yeah. You definitely will.
And next year I'll bring you guys some homemade cranberry sauce.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I feel like you always have the best. You always have the best stuff. We always hear about Thanksgiving, and I get so jealous hearing about how it just always sounds so great.
I had a wonderful Thanksgiving this year, so
That's good. That's good.
looking forward to the next holiday. And again, thank you both for having me.
Yeah. Thanks
All
for
right.
coming out. All right. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.